Well, sounds like a happy audience to me. Listen, if you want to be happy, you have to be happy on purpose. When you wake up, you can't just wait to see what kind of day you'll have. You have to be the one to decide what kind of day you'll have. That is what I posted on my Instagram account on September 20th, borrowed from some introspective person in cyberspace. It's the subject of the entire next hour of Cityline. Happiness, elusive to some, default mode for others. How do you find you're happy? That's what Pasricha, author of The Happiness Equation, is here to tell us. How are you?
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here.
It's so good to have you here. You know, I feel like, and a lot of people are saying, they look at the news and it feels like it's getting worse.
Yes.
You know, it's a fever pitch. There's hurricanes, there's Zika virus, there's a migrant issue.
Trump.
There's Trump. Trump. There's so much going on.
There's a lot.
And a lot of people say it's really difficult to pinpoint happy. And so we want to spend a little bit of time talking about people's propensity for happiness and how you can really sort of be intentional about creating that space in your life. We've got an audience of happy people. Are you happy? Okay. Because if you're not, you should be by the end of the show, or you should at least have a few tools to get you through it. We want to do a quiz with them, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So these are a lot of myths that you might think, you know, maybe you think these things are things that make you happy. Maybe they do or maybe they don't. But I'll throw out the questions. We'll see what they say, and then we'll get you to comment. How about that?
Perfect.
Okay. Question number 1. Winning the lottery makes you happy. Is that true or false? What do you think? Mostly trues, and I would agree with you. Come on, winning the lottery has to make you happy. That's money, money, money.
The answer is false. It's true in the short term. After you win the lottery, you feel great, of course, that day and then the probably following few days.
Yeah.
But a really famous study that studied lottery winners and paraplegics found that after 1 year had passed, both reverted back to the mean. So that means it's short-term happiness. It's not sustainable. In fact, to sustain it, there's lots of other things we can do, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
So is the situation that you have to start with the happy and then you get the money and then you're even happier?
Well, exactly. I grew up thinking that actually you do great work, then you have a big success, and then you're happy. That's what my parents told me. You study really hard, you get straight A's, and then you go into a good school.
Yeah.
Or you work really hard, then you get promoted, then you're happy. Turns out all the positive psychology research shows that model is completely backwards.
Okay.
Instead, you must be happy first, choose to be happy, as you said in the opening, and cultivate that. Then you do great work. You're more productive, you have, your better results at work, and then the big success follows. So the question is, how do we be happy at the beginning? How do we start there?
Yeah.
And there's lots of tools we can talk about to sort of cultivate that every morning.
So that is otherwise known as the happiness equation.
Yes,
you start with the happy, you don't end with it. It's not a journey to get there, you have to start there.
Exactly. You have to remember happiness is a choice, and it's something you can work on, like a practice.
Yes. With that said, I want to talk more about money.
Okay, let's talk about money.
Okay, making more than $75,000 a year makes you happy. Is that true or false? False, 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 false. Maybe they want $1 million a year. I don't know. What is it?
It is false. Making up to $75,000 makes you happier. Over that amount, $75,000, happiness flatlines.
Really?
So once you've covered your basic needs, you're able to go on a vacation once a year, you're able to go to the movies, then over $75,000, what the research shows is that there's no more things that you necessarily need that build up your happiness. So if you have a job paying you 6 figures and you're slaving away to try to get even more, that's not necessarily going to make you happy. Look at what you're sort of expensing to cover that time. Are you sacrificing evenings with your family? Are you sacrificing, doing dinners at home? What are you giving up? Because over $75,000 a year, the research shows you don't get marginally happier after that.
And I guess that's a Canadian figure, because at $75K, you pretty much got it covered. You can pay the mortgage or the rent, you can have your vacation a year, you can spend some time with your family, and you're not working crazy amounts of hours a week.
Exactly. It's general. Obviously, there are exceptions. Somebody might say, hey, I'm someone that needs $1 million to be happy.
Yeah.
But you know what? For most people, it's over that amount, you're fine. So that answer is false.
Well, let's look at this question. Committing a random act of kindness increases your happiness more than exercise, more than meditation, and more than writing gratitude. Do you think that is true or false? They all think that is true.
And they are all right.
They're right.
They are all right. Good job, everyone, because it's true. Committing a random act of kindness is the single biggest difference maker when it comes to happiness, more than exercise, writing gratitudes, journaling, meditation. Doing something nice for somebody else makes you feel good for the rest of the day, and you reflect on that feeling. So it's a lift. The research actually shows if you are able to commit 5 random acts of kindness a week, it's Professor Sonia Lubomirsky at Stanford, it actually gives you a happiness boost that lasts and sustains for the whole week.
And that's something we can actually do right now.
Find someone a coffee, holding the door open for someone, writing a 3-line email to an old coworker. Simple little things.
I love that. Okay, this is so good. It means that we're actually in control of this, and I think that's what people need to hear.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we're in control of it, and we like doing it. You know, you are the lunch-making dad. You are the flower-buying partner. You think of yourself in those terms, and it gives you a nice lift.
Okay, good stuff. Here's another one for you. Happy people are 3 times more creative than their peers. Is that true or false? Are happy people more creative? They say yes, it's true. A couple of falses.
There is a big false in the back, but the majority is true, and they are right. There is like no.
Strongly false.
Yes, strongly false. You know what? The research on the cover of Harvard Business Review last year showed that happy people at work are 300% or 3 times more creative than their peer group. So having that positive mindset, if you're in any work, you know, where you need to have design skills or brainstorming sessions, like developing the positive mindset totally pays off.
Right. Okay, last question. Happy people live an average of 5 years longer than your average person. Do happy people live longer? They say it's true.
The woman in the front in the red is correct. She's the only false in the audience.
It's false.
The reason
it is false.
The reason it is false, everyone, is because happy people actually live 10 years longer. Congratulations. And by the way, the reason we know this is because down at the University of Kentucky, they studied nuns who entered convents in the 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
And by the way, nuns wear the same clothes, eat the same food, they have sort of the same lifestyle. So you can say, in the autobiographies, did they use positive language? They found, because they did the study in the 2000s, those who used positive language were 50% more likely to hit the age of 95. The sample group was 15%. You live an average of 10 years longer if you can develop happiness at the beginning.
Now, I want everyone to understand that we're not all delusional here, telling you that you have to walk through life with a smile on your face, because that's just crazy. Throughout the show, though, we're going to talk about people who have been through hard times and who have had the ability to pull themselves out. The Book of Awesome and the Happiness Equation is all about figuring out what it takes to be as intentional as possible with your happiness.